Whatever your profession, doing it well and with intention often requires that you go on a personal development journey. Hello, 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 and welcome to More Than Money, a podcast where we have nuanced conversations about money, business, and life, where we take the time to explore the human side of money because success with money is never just about the numbers. I'm your host, Jacquette Timmons, and I am really, really glad that you are joining me today. So, whether this is your very first episode or one of many, again, welcome. And before we get into today's episode, I've got a question for you. Do you want a little more peace, love, and happiness when it comes to your money? I know I do, and I suspect you do as well. And now is the perfect time to pause, reflect, tweak, and move forward to make that happen because it's summertime, a time when some of us slow down because it is so hot outside. Like, hello, New York City humidity. Others because you just need a break from the hustle and bustle. And so maybe you are taking a well deserved vacation or simply enjoying the longer daylight hours. Or maybe this is the time of the year when life and business just naturally slow down for you. Summer is the ideal time to take a step back and gain a fresh perspective on your financial goals and your progress. So let's do that together. Let's take some time to celebrate your financial journey thus far, check in on your goals, your current financial status, and determine what needs to be tweaked to finish the year strong. I am calling this the Summer of Love Financial Edition. So let's use the spirit of peace, love, and happiness to create more abundance, joy, and financial freedom and success in your life and in your business. It's a 90-minute financial checkup and clarity session, and I'm opening my calendar for just 10 spots this summer. So grab yours now. Send me a DM on Instagram and we will get you all of the details and the scheduling link to get started. But in the meantime, let's get started by diving into today's show. So I have raved about my speaking coach, Mike Ganino, before. I've done so on my blog, on social media, and even here on the podcast. You can go and check out episodes 166 and 170. But I recently attended a 2-day retreat that he hosted here in New York. And can I tell you, boom, mind blown. It was epic on so many levels. Of course, I think he is brilliant, but was also special were the other attendees and guest presenters like Marisa Corcoran, Laura Gassner-Otting, and Erica Reitman. And as I record today's episode, it is almost 2 weeks later, and I am still gushing about the time that we had. And likewise, my awe of Mike's incredible gift is even more profound. The way in which he helps speakers get comfortable with being uncomfortable so that they can bring more of themselves to their talks in the service of helping their audience get what they want. Oh, it is unmatched. And I have the privilege of seeing this in action weekly during our office hours. And I saw it at the retreat. I saw it at the retreat as he coached and directed other speakers. It was really just magical to notice the difference in how I experienced their bits before he gave them feedback. And then after they incorporated the tweaks that he suggested they make. Tweaks that were small, subtle, and always just right. And I had several magical moments of my own, or several magical moments of my own. And I want to share them with you. Magical moment number one, it finally clicked. In one instance, I literally felt a shift in my body as I practiced an opening that he's been suggesting for almost as long as I've been working with him. And it made me wonder, isn't it amazing how you can hear something over and over and over again, and then voila, it clicks. And by it clicks, I mean you unquestionably get it because you feel it deep down in your bones. When I had that moment, I was reminded of the power of repetition. And I realized that I may have, a non-traditional take on this, but I think great coaches and public speakers are fundamentally teachers, mainly because the focus of their work centers the needs and wants of the learner, be it a coachee or an audience participant. Therefore, as a coach and a speaker, i.e., a teacher, I know the importance of needing to hear or encounter the same information multiple times. There's even a name for this natural part of the learning process. It's called the repetition effect. So, I should not have been surprised, and yet I was, when something that I have been hearing Mike tell me for almost 2 years finally clicked. It was a delicious moment, one that got my creative juices flowing, one that, immediately made me think of a news story as the opening for one of my signature talks, one that got me to thinking about my current messaging and what changes I could make to how I talk about my work on my website, on social media, and even here on the podcast. But that initial excitement was soon overshadowed by a question. Gosh, why did it take me so long to finally get it? Which was then followed by wondering, what has not getting it sooner cost me in terms of time and delayed progress, lost opportunities, and possibly missed connections? Of course, I'll never know. But also dwelling on that is not what is most useful, is what I'm trying to say. Showing up and putting myself in spaces where I can work on improving my craft, that is what is most useful. Magical moment number 2, I call that it's possible. When you hear someone share the journey of how they got to where they are today, how do you listen? How do you take in the highs and the lows that you are actually privileged to hear directly from them about their experiences and routes to success? I was in a room with some incredibly accomplished people, and I had several like pinch me moments, and not in a self deprecating, I don't deserve to be here kind of way. Rather, I was spellbound. I was spellbound by the breadth of expertise and experience represented not only by my fellow speakers at the table there to be taught, right? But also by our guest speakers, learning something from them all. And on that front, while each guest presenter dropped incredible jewels, one in particular really had me captivated, in part because she's having the type of success that I want for me and my business. She regularly appears on a national TV show, a show I've been on once. She gets paid $30,000 for her speaking gigs. My fireside chats start at $12,500 and my workshops start at $15,000. As she talked about the highs and the lows that she encountered and the lessons that she learned and what she's doing to take things up a notch, I was feeling all the feels. I felt pure admiration and inspiration for what she has accomplished and for how she is strategically laying the groundwork for her future success. So much so that listening to her was like looking in a mirror and having it reflect back to me what's possible for me and my business. I call that hashtag what a gift. However, hearing her story also poked at my self doubt and self criticism. I even had a moment of feeling like, wow, I am really playing way too small and doing all the things wrong. Now, thankfully, I snapped out of it and I didn't stay in that state of mind for long because, in truth, that would have been unfair to both of us. Like the other presenters, she came to share her story in support of our respective journeys to advance our public speaking careers. And I doubt that she was looking to be idolized for her abilities, for her accomplishments, for her success. And besides, to idolize her and her achievements and her success would make it seem like she is a superhero and that what she's done cannot be done by others. And that just simply is not true. Sure, it won't be done like her for a whole host of reasons, but it can be done. Plus, idolizing her rather than being inspired by her overlooks the choices and the trade offs that she most certainly had to make that you and I will never, ever, ever know about. Magical moment number 3, it's universal. The folks attending the retreat represented different professions and different industries. For some, public speaking was their business. For others, like me, it's one of the hats that we wear. The time I spent in that room confirmed something I have long felt to be true, regardless of our varying professions or industries. And it also happens to be true even if you aren't a public speaker, because let's face it, whatever it is that you do, part of that is you have to sell your ideas to someone. So this is what I believe. Whatever your profession, doing it well and doing it with intention requires that you go on a personal development journey, a journey that asks you to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And by doing so, what that creates is the space for you to show up and to do the necessary inner work to improve your craft or to improve how you run your business or manage your career or how you relate to money or how you wish to be in relationships that are important to you. Embedded in your personal development journey are the lessons meant for you, but that don't only benefit you. And this is precisely why you and I, A, shouldn't compare our journeys to that of others. And B, this is also why you and I need to hear other people's stories and also share our own, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's an exchange that honors everyone's respective abilities, qualities, achievements, and success. And this, my friends, is something from which we can all benefit. Well, that is it for today, folks. As always, thank you for listening and maybe even joining me on the YouTube channel if that's where you are watching and listening. If you'd like to show appreciation for this podcast and or this particular episode, please do me a favor and share it within your circle. It helps us to reach more people than we ever could on our own. And if you happen to be listening on Apple Podcast, please take a moment to leave a rating and a review. 1, we do read them, and 2, it helps us with that thing called an algorithm. And if you are on YouTube, please don't forget to comment below. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, you can do that by going to buymeacoffee.com/Jaquette. Again, buymeacoffee.com/Jaquette. Oh, and don't forget about the Summer of Love financial edition offer. Please send me a DM on Instagram and I'll get you all of the details to get started. But I'll be back with another episode and I hope you will too. Until then, remember, it's about more than money.